Welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. My name is Jim Putnam. This video is all about leaving your leaves in place. This is something I've actually done my entire career in this business, some 30 some years, that I have given this instruction, tried to teach this, but YouTube has allowed me a little bit bigger of a platform, and others have talked about the same exact thing, and now I think finally this is kind of caught up. This information has kind of gotten out there because forever people either hired somebody to pick up their leaves, or they raked them up themselves and put them out by the street, or they raked them into piles and burned them, or they put them 3 feet up the base of their trees and just buried them in mulch. We're in a pinyon pine forest in northern Arizona filming this, and there are very few leaves, but there is an oak, a little group of oaks here behind me, and a few other things, mostly a conifer forest, but there are some leafy plants here that are in the process of shedding their leaves. So let's talk about some reasons why you would leave them in place. Well, number one, the planet is always trying to cover itself. You know, the forest is always trying to cover the forest floor, and we've decided that that's somehow not a good idea for some reason. But the reasons these plants are losing their leaves and putting them right on the ground at their feet is they're insulating the soil, right? They're basically keeping the soil quite a bit warmer, keeping it from freezing as much during the winter, maybe making some moisture available in that regard. You think about a little sneaky approach that some of these plants are using. They're preventing while the leaves are off the tree, that would be a good opportunity in the early spring for something to germinate, right, and start to grow around the base of that tree. That tree has laid down that leaf barrier to kind of prevent some of that from happening too. Leaf just flew in and hit Steph in the face as she was talking about this. So that, you know, again, it's insulating the ground, it's holding in soil moisture. Obviously in the spring, this material is going to start to decompose, and it's going to take the nutrients that it created during the season and just put them right back into its own root system, right? So that's a thing. And then you're building this base of organic material at the bottom of it that is a place that will help mycorrhizal fungi, beneficial bacteria, all of those things that the tree probably has, or tree or shrub or whatever it is that's losing leaves, has some sort of relationship with during the winter time. So there's a lot of reasons to leave these leaves on the ground. There are a couple places where I probably would not want large amounts of leaves in the garden. One would be on your lawn, for obvious reasons. If you leave your lawn buried in leaves all winter, it's not going to be able to get, potentially it's going to rot cool season or warm season grasses like Bermuda and centipede and zoysia and St. Augustine, because they're going to be dormant during the winter time. It's going to keep them too wet. So probably not a good idea to keep the leaves on that. And then on fescue, bluegrass, all of the grasses or winter rye, anything that keeps its color during the winter time, it's going to smother that out and not allow it to photosynthesize, not allow it to grow. Also probably rot it out as well. So it's good to get it off your lawn. But for me, I've never tried to maintain some sort of perfect lawn. So I just ran the mower over top of the leaves on the lawn and just mulched it down into the lawn itself. I say lawn loosely, if that's the way if that's the way you're doing it, because mine's just some sort of combination of overseeding with some sort of seed, and then whatever weeds come into it, and then trying to mow it at the proper height, but then mowing the leaves. So that's my version of a lawn, is just mowing the leaves in place and not worrying about raking them. But a lot of people are. The other area I'd probably avoid, large amounts of leaves, especially like whole, full-size whole leaves, is going to be on perennial borders. Sometimes these perennials will struggle to come back through a lot of organic material in the early spring, and also potentially, again, holding too much water in place at the point where that whatever dormant perennial it is that's died back to the ground, it's going to stay too wet during the winter time. And I think I mentioned this earlier, the third thing I probably wouldn't do with the leaves is like bury the base of your trees in them. Frequently I'll see people take all their pine straw or their leaf material and just really bury up the trunks on the trees, so you don't see that root flare that's at the bottom of the tree that we would like to see. We don't want to be mulching of any kind, whether it's leaves, some sort of mulch you bought, pine straw, whatever it is. We don't want to be mulching up on them. So how do we handle keeping our leaves in the garden and still having the garden be a nice ornamental space? Part of that is I personally don't feel the need to control every square inch of it. And so we have a very large oak on the back of the property there in Raleigh, if you're following along with the channel. It drops lots and lots of leaves. From our porch, from our main vantage point in the garden, most of those leaves are out beyond an area. It just doesn't matter to me. I can't see them as well. They're on the back path, okay? It does unfortunately drop too many leaves into that space. And so what we'll do is go back there and thin them out a bit. Now, on those leaves that fall off the tree like that, those big white oak leaves that we have that fall back there are like 500 species that take advantage of our native oaks. And a lot of those species will lay their eggs on the backs of those leaves. Then they drop to the ground in the wintertime. Other insects are down in those leaves. So it's an opportunity for a lot of life to survive within your garden. Birds come along in the wintertime and take advantage of that and flip all those leaves over, so it invites those birds into the wintertime. We love sitting on the back, the screen porch in the wintertime and listen to the robins. They just flip leaves all winter long. They're flipping leaves, looking for, they're hunting in the garden. So some beneficials, probably some bad guys back there. Who knows? Who cares? It's all a balancing act. Now you do get to the point though where you have maybe some really large leaves. You have some southern magnolias that shed a lot during the fall, or you have, you know, again, it's like the white oak that we have, or a red oak, or something that's dropping fairly large leaves in such volume that it really doesn't make sense. I don't probably want more than about 3 inches of these leaves down on the ground at any given point, or anywhere in the garden, maybe 3, maybe 4 inches. If I have too many, you can do what my buddy Rob does. We showed this in a video last year. He actually blows all his leaves out to the driveway once during the fall. He's got giant oaks in his front garden. We've toured that property a few times there in Raleigh. He blows all those leaves out to the driveway. He runs his lawnmower back and forth and then literally blows them back into the garden. And it just reduces the mass and size of those leaves tremendously. And then the edges of the leaves, so I'll pick a leaf up here. The leaves don't break down very well if they're in that hole, if they're whole like this. But once you start to create more edges on them, you know, which the mower would do, or some sort of leaf shredder would do. Once you create all those different edges on it, then it breaks down much faster. It becomes food for the plants much faster. Again, I do like to leave some whole leaves out in the garden because I want all that life to live. Obviously, if I blow all those leaves out on the driveway and mow them all, then I'm killing some of that life, right? That's on those, killing the majority of those things I was talking about that the birds are hunting for and that kind of thing. But if you do need to reduce the mass of leaves, which I certainly understand, I would definitely run them over with the mower. Of course, at the end of the day, what I'm recommending here is the easiest kind of gardening. Do nothing, right? Make sure you get them off your lawn. Your perennial borders aren't buried in them. And the rest of them, as long as they're not too thick out in the garden. Or you want to also maybe go through some of your shrubs where those leaves fall down in your shrubs and blow them off of the plants or whatever. Get the leaves down to the ground would be a suggestion for sure. The other use, and this is a really great use, if you're not using your vegetable garden in the wintertime, which most people aren't, but if you're in the deep south, maybe you've got some winter crops in your garden. But for the vast majority of people, all the leaves are falling off the trees in the fall, your vegetable garden has no activity in it. That's another place that's a great place to put those leaves for the wintertime, whether you shred them or not shred them. Just keep that ground covered, keep that soil life alive that we created during the growing season, and control that moisture through the season. And then again, by spring, a lot of those things will be breaking down and they'll become kind of free compost. The other thing, the leaves can just go onto a compost pile. They don't break down as readily if you're not mixing other things in them. So other greens, like grass clippings and that kind of thing are a good idea to add to your brown leaves, because you need some sort of combination of brown and green to compost well. Leaves will break down in a big pile on their own, but they're best with some sort of green material mixed into them. These are the types of information we have in the weekly garden planner. If you're interested in it, it is linked down below. It's just literally a weekly plan throughout the year of gardening ideas, gardening thoughts, maybe some things like this, where just kind of changing our gardening habits a bit and letting our gardens be a little bit more natural, which is also a little bit less maintenance overall, really. Hopefully less weeds, because we're keeping the ground covered. And the other thought on this is, like, it's one of those things where we take this perfectly valuable material, organic material that's given to us by all the hard work that we've put into our gardens, and we dispose of it, and then in the spring go out and buy bags of mulch in plastic bags, or bulk mulch, or however you buy your mulch, and replace it with some sort of other organic materials. So that's my thought on it. It's just, you know, leave them in place and take advantage of the fact that you already own this organic material. Thank you guys so much for watching.